Howdy folks, I am Ruskio, and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. In the last one, we spoke with the ladies at the airport who were involved in a murder case during their school year. We found out that the girl... Let me try that again. We talked with girls at the airport who were part of the arcade game. The arcade game depicted an actual murder that took place involving those characters. And we found that out, and we have proof of that because we found an envelope with those same photos taken during the game. Well, we found the photos. So, I mean, that right there pretty much proves that it actually happened. In this one, we're going to go and try to find and talk with Fuyuhiko, who, based on the events in the last episode, indicate that he was involved. That he beat the game first, and then sent the letter, then sent the photos on to Mahiru. Hajime and Chiaki, what a coincidence! If something happens twice, third time's the charm, so they say. What coincidence? Are you a stalker or something? Yeah, he probably learned from Kaz. Oh, don't say that. I was just thinking about filling you on the results of my investigation. Results? Did you find something? I'll let you know if you drop to your knees and lick my shoes. I'll shove your shoes up your ass if you want. Okay. Yeah, you... just kidding. I was joking. It didn't sound like a joke to me. Well, it's about the footprints. The killer left their footprints in the front of the beach house, right? Did you find out whose footprints those are? If you want to know, I highly recommend you come to the beach house with me. With you? Well, of course! You'll come with me, right? I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but if I can get a clue... What are you gonna do, Chiaki? I think she may want to try to find Fuyuhiko. I'm gonna try to talk to Fuyuhiko and see if he can tell me anything. So, I'll leave this to you. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. If someone like me tried to talk to him, it'd be impossible. But it might be different with a girl. Just be careful that he doesn't get rough with you. I think she'll be fine. I guess this is where we part. I'll see you later, Hajime. See ya. Huh? Did you actually want her to stay? Actually? What do you mean? Well, let's go. I'll go on ahead to the beach house and wait there. Ah, I guess we're left to our own devices. So, you know what? I'll just skip and see you guys at the beach house. Unless, of course, something happens in between. And we're back. And we're heading into the diner, which will eventually lead to the beach house. But I just wanted to make sure... If anything was going to happen, it may end up happening here. So, finally! Testosterone! We found a dude! I was wondering where everyone had gone. I was right! Huh? I already assumed you would come here. There is nothing you can hide from me, the Supreme Overlord who wields the forked dark devas of destruction. Thus, I know everything. For instance, I happen to know your fiends were preoccupied with your infantile beach play. It matters not, for what I love is silence and solitude. Well, that's right. That's it. That's precisely it. I see, so he wanted to be invited too. Well, it may not have been the most helpful of conversations, but I'm glad I got to at least talk to someone who had... Okay, I'm going to stop that sentence right there. I'm glad I got to talk with at least one guy before everything. Anyway, here's Nagito. Crazy bastard. Well, let's try going inside. All right. So what do you got to show? Nagito. Whoa! Why the hell are you here? Oh, hello there, Kazuichi. Thanks for going easy on me earlier. Thanks to you, I was able to walk away with just mild bruising. You clearly think like an ultimate. Aw, this bastard. You two have arrived at a good time. Big news! I've discovered something very terrible. You look almost happy about that. Not only that, I believe it's nothing like Sonia's, but there's something I noticed too. You too, Makan. Yep, this is great. It looks like the investigation is reaching its boiling point. Alright, so, let's work our way left to right. Nagito? Hey, tell me what you know already. Didn't you find out whose footprints those were? Actually, how are you able to find that out? Well, after listening to everyone's story at the airport, I went to a certain place. Well, it's probably better to say I snuck in to everyone's cottages. Everyone's cottages? Well, I told Monokuma I needed access for the investigation, so he simply let me in. That bastard, he did something shady again. But why did I do something like that? Well, I'll explain my reasoning to you. Nagito squatted down near the entrance to the beach house and began to spread some papers he was holding. Come on, Hajime, take a look. After all, I went to the trouble of gathering all this. Those footprints. I see. So the reason you snuck inside everyone's cottages was to... That's right. I wanted to get a sample of everybody's footprints. But unfortunately, Fuyuhiko wouldn't leave his cottage, so I couldn't complete it. Well, I guess it's no big deal. It seems obvious that the footprints belong to this person. Whose footprints are they? Hyoko Saionji. Hyoko's. Well, it makes sense. We saw her run out. Well, to be honest, the reason I summoned her to the airport was so I could lure her out of her cottage. She shut herself inside her cottage, remember? If she stayed in there, well, I couldn't sneak in. So I figured if I lured her out, she wouldn't be in a hurry to go back to her cottage. You're treating her like a small animal. But it was totally worth it. The footprint I collected there was smaller than anyone else's and matched the footprints at the beach house. Yep, there's no mistake. Those are Hyoko's footprints. So we updated that one. I think it's kind of a nice touch that things get updated as you do your investigation rather than just simply adding a whole bunch of new evidence time and time again. It harkens me back to the Ace Attorney days. Also, it's not like I was snooping around or anything, but I found something really interesting at her cottage. What was that? I found a lot of these candies inside her room. They're gummy candies that come in 4 different flavors: strawberry, melon, grape, and orange. Well, looks like she got it from the supermarket. Apparently she really likes this brand of gummies. There should have been other gummy brands, but she only brought home a bunch of these. People are like that sometimes. There are people who only eat the same brand, even if it's just potato chips. What's wrong with that? Well, it's not clear if this relates to the incident, but I thought I should tell you just in case. Just in case. Coming from this guy, that means it probably greatly relates to the incident. Well, yeah, because it doesn't sound like the flavors he said reflect what was found in the storage closet. I guess we'll see how that relates. Listen, I have big news. Huge news. What's the big news? Remember that Sunwitch Esper Ito mask that was next to Mahiru's body? Oh, the mask the killer used to hide their face. No, that is not correct. That mask was not just used to hide the face. Then what was it for? Sparkling justice. Wait, no. You're kidding me. The serial killer? Sparkling Justice is a serial killer and self-professed ally of justice whose name makes mankind shudder. They wear a hero mask at all times. Supposedly, they are a serial killer who only murders other criminals. So, since Mahiru was involved in the incident, that's why they killed her. Seriously? We're doing... Seriously? We've got a serial killer on this island? Do not look so disappointed, Hajime. You need to be surprised. This Sparkling Justice character, that's the serial killer you were talking about before, right? It's true that the mask we found here is a hero mask, but... It is a heroine mask, to be precise. Sun Witch Esperito is a pretty witch girl. See? Heroine. Hey, heroine. I should probably should have added that. Definitive. Definitive? Is that the right term? Sounds about right. Anyway, so you're saying it's possible that this serial killer is the one who killed Mahiru? Which means there's a serial killer hiding among us? Well, I'm pretty sure I've seen a twist like this in some video game. Yeah, no comment. This is stupid. Serial killer my ass. The killer just used it to cover their face. But even so, they sure chose something that stands out. That might be true, but... Although it's easy to write this off as foolish, it might be best if we exercise some caution. Sonia, can you tell me everything you know about this so-called Sparkling Justice? As the light of justice shines upon my mask, I expose the hearts of malevolent evil. The hell? Justice complete. The center of justice that is pierced by justice. The lead star of justice that shines in night sky justice. Justice, justice, that would be Sparkling Me Justice. What the hell was that? That is Sparkling Justice's catchphrase. An unknown serial killer has a catchphrase. I'm not entirely convinced that, it may be just like a TV show that's shown in her country or something. Because that's getting awfully, showmanshipy. We'll go with it. I read it in a magazine in the library. There has only ever been one person, a journalist, who has interviewed Sparkling Justice. The article is written in their native language, so I tried translating it. However, in the end, that journalist was punished by Sparkling Justice too. No good can come from getting involved with a serial killer. Dude, glass houses. The serial killer might not want to hear that from you. This is all I know about Sparkling Justice. Thanks to the masks, nobody knows their true age or gender, making them a very mysterious individual. Hey, isn't that kind of a stretch to say that there's a serial killer hiding in our group? No, it does not mean that they are in the group. It is possible the serial killer was lurking on this island all along before they decided to murder Mahiru. That's probably not possible. But that is the only thing I can think of. I mean, no matter how much I think about it, I simply cannot believe it. That one of us is capable of committing such a horrible murder. No matter how much I think about it, I simply cannot believe it. Sonia, I do understand Sonia's feelings, but it's highly unlikely that there's a serial killer hiding on this island. Well, we'll see. That whole thing could just be a red herring on its own. So I assume you've performed, your autopsy? Well, compared to the others, what I have to say isn't that important. So, please don't get your hopes up and be disappointed. I get it, so just get on with it. I tried my best to perform the autopsy, and I was able to find out Mahiru was definitely killed by a blow to the head. She was probably struck from behind by one blow, and based on the scar, the weapon is clearly the metal bat. But every dark cloud has a silver lining, as they say. It looks like Mahiru didn't suffer. What does that mean? There's no doubt. She died instantly. Uh-huh. Her death was instant. That sounds a little strange. I think I'd better remember that. Alright, so that's... And there's another thing I found. I'm sorry I started talking on my own. Were you busy right now? Just go ahead and tell me. During the autopsy, I discovered this in Mahira's pocket. I was going to tell you in person, but I couldn't find you, so I put this in your mailbox. About what we discussed earlier. Is it okay if we change the place and time? I want you to come to the beach house on the second island at 2:30 p.m. Ooh. That makes me nervous. It seems there's someone who wants to interfere with our meeting. Let's keep it a secret. Until then, let's try not to see each other for a while. It would be bad if they started suspecting us for no reason. Hyoko Sayonji. This letter. If this letter is real, it would mean Hyoko met up with Mahiru, right? Plus, Mahiru's estimated time of death was around 3 p.m., and they met 30 minutes prior. If we think about what that implies, then... Oh, I'm starting to get confused! If it's true, what does it mean? What happened between Mahiru and Hyoko? Letter on Mahiru has been added to the truth bullets. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the investigation. So, the double unparalleled and... You had to use a complicated word like that. Hedonism. Hedonism. God damn it. The time has come to... Skip. Come! Now is the time to fight the decisive battle. The hostility of fresh blood. The insanity of a contest of wits. The class trial is finally raising its curtain. So, meet up in front of Monokuma Rock. Once you're there, please proceed to the underground by taking the elevator located in the secret entrance. Ooh, I'll see you soon. Oh, looks like it's time. I guess the investigation is over. So, it's finally starting. The class trial where our hopes and the killer's hope will finally clash. But it's alright. Either way, hope will win in the end. Now then, let's go prove it. Oh, what is he so excited about? There's no reason to respond to a guy like that. Anyway, we should start heading over. At the trial field where Monokuma is waiting. I have to make my case there. There is no escape. We have no choice but to press forward. Now then, let us go. As we talked among ourselves, we left the beach house. And Mahiru's body. Alright, so, we will do the in the next episode, we will be completing... Well, not completing. In the next episode, we will begin the second class trial for the murder of Mahiru. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.